You know, LeBron James and the Lakers took a commanding 2-0 series lead over the Rockets on Tuesday. James has looked like the king against the Rockets so far in this series. He's recorded a double-double in Game 1, scored 28 in Game 2 to help propel the Lakers to that 2-0 series lead. This is the 25th time a LeBron James team has taken a 2-0 series lead. His team has won all 24 previous series. We now have Kenny the Jet Smith back with us. Are you encouraged by the Lakers or discouraged by the Rockets, Kenny?
Well, I would say encouraged by the Lakers, because when you have a basketball team that you say you have an A, B, and C option, and Luka Doncic was A, you had Austin Reeves at B, and LeBron James was at C. And now your C option is leading guys who are probably were just space guys who can create space for you. Luke Kennard, Marcus Smart, and DeAndre Ayton have really played exceptionally well, while the C option is leading it. And I will say this, you talked about me being blasphemous earlier about talking about the Knicks, but LeBron James has moved a slight bit closer to the legacy of Michael Jordan in my mind, because this is incredible that a guy who's 41 years old is leading a team this way. Because if I was 25 years old and a 40-year-old walked into the park, I would be like, oh, this is an easy win today, because he cannot sustain the type of effort that he would need. But he is making three guys who were really just thought of to space the floor, mark and defend. Marcus Smart come and defend. Luke Kennard space the floor, and DeAndre Ayton rim run. He has made them prominent offensive threats right now, which is incredible.
We're running out of time, Kenny. I'll say this to you. Shockingly, I'm glad you're sitting down. I agree with you. He's moving closer to that GOAT status. I agree with you, because I think what he's done is phenomenal. To be on the Mount Rushmore of basketball as one of the top 4 players in the history of basketball, and to be deferential to Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic throughout the year, to play all 5 positions, even a center at one point in time, to a triple-double 1 minute, 30-piece another minute, doing whatever it takes to win. You can't say enough about LeBron James. He's been absolutely phenomenal. But the answer to this question is the disappointment in the Houston Rockets. I mean, you're 10 for 34. That's 29% on wide open threes in this series. You worked all year knowing you had lost Fred VanVleet. You never went out and got a point guard. You got Kevin Durant having nothing for you in the second half. This ain't chopped liver. This is KD Trey. This is one of the greatest snipers in the history of basketball. What the hell is going on? So you're looking at the Houston Rockets right now, coached by the great Ime Udoka, who's being out-coached by J.J. Redick at this particular moment in time, because J.J. Redick is finding switches and solutions and stuff like that and making adjustments, and Houston seems ill-equipped to do anything. What is Reed Shepherd, one of your best shooters, doing on the bench, even though he's not a great point guard? What is he doing on the bench for a chunk of time instead when you need shooters out there? There's a lot of questions about Houston right now. They're not looking good. They're not looking impressive. And if the Houston Rockets lose this series without Luka and without AR, that is an ultimate indictment against KD Trey, Kevin Durant. No doubt about it.
Turning back the clock, leading the Lakers to a commanding 2-0 lead over the Rockets as the series heads back to Houston. Is this series over, Michael?
I think so. LeBron, I mean, historically, and I know I'm leaning on what has happened, 24-0. That's not a small sample size. 24-0 in games and series in which his team leads 2-0. And if Kevin Durant, we don't know what affects the knee contusion are having. He scored 20 points in the first half. Clearly ran out of gas, did not have it physically in the second half with 3 points. That's not Kevin Durant. So we're looking at a Houston team which has really been disappointing, to be honest with you.
Very much
through
so.
These first 2 games. LeBron, the question is, can LeBron do this and hold the fort until you get Doncic and Reeves back? That would really be important. This series goes so long. It goes longer than the Summer Olympics. It goes until the middle of the first week of May.
The days off in between.
You think the league and certain network bosses want us to have LeBron James in action for these games? Yeah, if LeBron, who doesn't have to play back-to-backs, gets some downtime, gets 2 days off, the way he's playing, LeBron's ability to diagnose whatever is needed quarter to quarter, game to game, night to night, series to series, It's amazing at this stage that he can do that and just sort of be whatever he needs to morph and be whatever he needs to be. Look, even if they win this series, they get OKC next.
Yeah, but potentially
let's not look too far.
You get Luka and Austin Reeves
But
back.
even with Luka and Austin Reeves, they had all those guys. They went to OKC and got smacked.
And that's when Luka got
in the regular
hurt.
season. Yes, when they all of a sudden there was a hammy. So LeBron, there are no buts about what he's doing, how amazing it is. Can he get at least one of these games? I think they'll get a game in Houston as well. Houston just looks off. Houston had every chance in all season long, once Fred VanVleet was injured, to go and get a point guard, get somebody to help Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant bringing the ball up in the second half of games and having to do all of this. Kevin Durant not 27 years old either anymore. Houston blew it in a personnel way then. That's top of the pyramid. I'm not putting that on the staff or on the players. Houston, look at C.J. McCollum, who comes over from Washington to Atlanta, and look at the difference it's made. Houston needed a similar sort of acquisition, didn't get it, and they're paying the price.
Kendrick Perkins brought it up yesterday. They don't like each other, and you could tell on the team. All right, Michael, thank you. So with the NBA, starting with Blazers, Spurs, where Victor Wembanyama currently going through concussion protocol. Wilbon, are the Spurs in trouble if Wemby is not available for Game 3 tomorrow night?
Yes. The question is really, is he going to be able to play Game 4?
Yeah.
To me, Sunday, can he even be ready for Game 4? The average amount of time, Kevin, that's missed for a player in concussion protocol in the NBA is 9 days. That would take him out of Games 3 and 4 in Portland. Here's the other thing. We don't even know if they're going to allow him to travel.
That's the key, right?
Right?
Yeah.
So this is not like, the other the opponents in Houston. He can just drive in the state of Texas and get to the game like he's in the AAU competition.
Yeah.
He's got to fly to Portland. We don't know if that's going to be allowed. Yeah, and they're going to depend on their veterans, De'Aaron Fox, Harrison Barnes. Those guys do have playoff experience. Harrison Barnes, a lot of it. They're going to have to rely on that. They did play well and beat Portland a couple of times without Wembanyama in the regular season. Different deal.
That's a storyline we're going to continue to follow here with Wemby's health and, of course, that concussion protocol. All right, let's move on to the spiciest first-round matchup. Wolves, Nuggets. Minnesota stole Game 2 on the road to tie the series, and they were talking afterwards. Michael, have the Wolves found a formula here to beat the Nuggets?
Yes. We know that because they've already done it. They just did it a couple of years ago. Denver was defending champ, and the Timberwolves took them out. This is a legit rivalry. I don't know if this needs updating by one game, but these two teams are like 15-15 against each other in the last 30 games. They've played a ton of games against each other, and defensively, the Wolves are absolutely arrogant about what it is they think they can do. They have maybe the one player in Rudy Gobert who can actually deal with Joker some. He's not going to stop Joker. He's not. But the other night, he did a heck of a job against him in Game 2, and Minnesota got back in that. You can say, well, Joker just missed those shots. Wait a minute. Rudy Gobert has been Defensive Player of the Year, 4 times?
Yep.
He can hold his own. That appears to be sustainable to a degree. And we've seen the Timberwolves do this to Denver.
Yeah, and I'll bring up another. How about Jamal Murray? Jamal Murray, you have to step up. Jokic and Murray to have only 2 points in the fourth quarter.
But that speaks, and that's why the Wolves were so arrogant about their defensive performance, calling people out.
Yeah.
I mean, games 3 and 4 in that series are really going to be worth watching. I know at the beginning of the year, I had Denver sort of bouncing back and some of the acquisitions they made and changes they made to win the whole thing. But every time I'd look at Minnesota as being a thorn in their side. Minnesota has been to the conference finals in the West each of the last 2 years. And that's going to be a long series.
They're a matchup nightmare. All right, finally, how about